The Trail of Tears by Daniel Georgetti. The Trail of Tears was an act committed by the U.S. government of the forced relocation of major native tribes to western lands past the Mississippi. It was an atrocity committed and looked down upon on today's society. This is the story of why and how the Trail of Tears came upon us. Once gold was discovered in northern Georgia, the U.S. government decided that it was time to move the Indians out. The Indians were forced to leave their homes, land, farms, and way of life. Andrew Jackson authorized the Removal Act of 1830. There was opposition in the European American community. Senator Daniel Webster was against the Removal Act and frequently spoke out against it. The U.S. government signed the Treaty of Echota in 1835 to justify this atrocity. This treaty was signed by a small group of Cherokee. The Cherokee Nation had already created a law stating that any person who agreed to give up tribal land would be put to death. The Cherokee opposition was led by Chief John Ross. He opposed the Echota Treaty. By the summer of 1838, 17,000 Cherokee and other Native American tribes were rounded up by the U.S. Army. Most were held in prison camps while waiting. Due to lack of medicine or traditional Cherokee food, disease and famine broke out in the camps. The Cherokee missionary Daniel S. Buttrick visited the camps and offered help to the destitute Cherokee peoples by expressing his faith through the Bible. Eventually, Chief John Ross made a request to General Winfield Scott to manage their own removal, and Scott agreed to their terms. They had horse-drawn wagons to carry the sick and elderly in, but as they left, winter set in and gave them unmanageable conditions to travel in. 4,000 died on the journey, mostly from exposure, disease, and starvation. Natives call it the trail where we cried. Today, it is better known as the Trail of Tears.